Hi everyone and welcome to my place. Actually, it's not my place. I'm at Ruby Orchids and I'm on the hunt for an orchid to recreate a bouquet for a wee girl who wants to carry something similar to what Liz Taylor wore or carried when she got married in 1959. Hi everyone and welcome to my place. Unfortunately, like all journeys, they do come to an end, and this is the very last in our first series of Under Investigation of the Cymbidium orchid. I have absolutely loved this journey and I have loved sharing all the different ways that you can design with a Cymbidium orchid. When I was looking at all of the flowers, I thought to myself, famous people have flowers that they love, and one of the people that, or the actresses that, or actors that I have loved and admired all of my life is Liz Taylor. And I went and did a little bit of investigation, and I discovered that when she married Eddie Fisher in 1959, she carried green Cymbidium orchids. And when I was at Ruby Orchids, I was on the hunt for this specific orchid, and it is called Ovation Emerald. And the great thing about these is they're grown here in New Zealand and they're exported all around the world to many, many markets. Now, the other reason I've kept this to last is I want to share how Liz Taylor's bouquet was created, and it's not that difficult. It's a fully wide bouquet, and when a bouquet is wide, you can take control. Also, when you get rid of the weight. Now, when I hold this up, this is quite heavy with its big structured stem support down the bottom here, and then all of the florets off it. So when I looked into the bouquet, I actually counted the orchids, and there is exactly 12 orchids, and here they are wired, which I'm going to show you. I also know that from that era, they would have used camellia leaves, or they would have used probably ivy leaves. So we're going to use the camellia leaves, which are wired. And in her bouquet, I also see that she has Lily of the Valley, which was her second most preferred flower. And unfortunately, I don't have any of these growing. And in fact, I think that might just be another one of our under investigation. Let's go seeking where these are grown and who grows them. But I can tell you a little something that's quite interesting. Catherine the Great gifted these to Henry VIII when he was on the throne. So they say, but I could go behind and just find out just what are the secrets and lies behind the Lily of the Valley. Another day, stop it. So anyway, I've got the Lily of the Valley. Unfortunately, it's artificial, but that's okay. Before we get into this, let me just share how you wire your orchids. Oh, and I've lost Mrs. No, I haven't. There they are here. Okay, so what you do is, and bear in mind, there is a sticky, sappy, sweety liquid that comes out of there. So if you are prone to sticky fingers, or you might be a little bit allergic to that, just do a wee test just in case. Okay, now to start to wire these, just hold it in your hand like so. I'm using a 22 gauge wire. Stick that through there like so, and then bring that down. Now you don't have to twist and bind that, because the next part of the exercise is with the floral tape. Now I was going to use the green parafilm, but I thought no, that wasn't invented when Liz Taylor got married, and if we're going to do it, let's do it properly. So this is it's a papery wax tape, and it's just a matter of taking that up around the top of that wire, and then, as I said, I told you it was a bit sticky, so I just wipe that off because I don't want that stickiness on me. And all we're doing is we're just taping to seal and bind firmly the orchid to the wire. You don't have to come down too far, because fortunately the wires that we get now, they're all coated with a nice sort of, like, it's almost like a wee plastic coating, but that there will just seal in that. And The wonderful thing about the Cymbidium orchids is they are very strong, very hearty flowers, and they are fine out of water for several days. So if you want to do a bouquet, a fully wired bouquet like this for your wedding, you could do that several days in advance. And what I do is I just put once they've all been wired, I just put them onto wet handy towel and then cover them and just keep them misted and they'll be fine. Now the next thing we're going to need is some backing leaves, and I'm going to use the camellia leaves. Now just to speed up the process, we want perfect leaves too, so don't be thinking you could just use any leaf. You need these to be perfect. Okay, so I like to wire 3 at a time, because as I said, with a wired bouquet, we want to get rid of as much weight as we can, and this is the easiest way. You could individually wire all of those leaves. So I've just wired through with the wire coming through here and going through all 3 leaves, holding this firmly here, because you are going to have to twist that around there, because the camellia only gives us the minutest little stem. So by doing this and binding it around, I know I've got all 3 of them all held perfectly in place, and then it's just a matter of doing that wiring again and taking that down like so. You only have to go a few inches. As I said, the least amount of weight you've got, the better it is. Okay, so I've got all of my leaves here. I've got my flowers. Get everything ready before you start. And you'll also need a fine guide wire. Now, the fine I'm using, I think that feels like it's about a 26 gauge wire. It's very, very fine, like a hair. And we're just going to use that to bind everything together. Okay, to begin, it's just, and you'll see this, I've already done, I think in the floristry school, I've already shown how to create wired bouquets. So all I'm doing there is just getting those leaves and then just taking that wire around there and pulling that quite firmly. And then what we want to do is we want to make a nice little, like a launching pad or like a little stage in which to bring all of our flowers through. So this is what I call a working from the base up. Now I've got a little hole there. I need to bring another one of those into there and bring that down and into there like so. You need to leave yourself a little bit of room so that you can push all the flowers through. Once you get to there, just bring that around like so and keep it nice and firm. You know what? I love this type of a bouquet. So I've got quite a few stems there, wire stems, but that is absolutely a fraction of the size of what that big stem is. So doing it this way, you just kind of get more control. Okay, I'm going to go in first with the lily of the valley, and I'm not even going to wire it. If I don't need to wire it, then I'm not going to wire it. And this just all gets pushed down and around as I am doing now, to get that into there, and then that can go around to there. And her bouquet is a little bit, I don't like those leaves, but that's okay. Her bouquet, and then as you go, just was a teardropped, but we'll get to that in due course. So as you're going around, just get that wire and then just bind all those together. And the great thing about this is, if I've been using fresh, I'd have wired these as well. But the great thing about, get off there, about using the tape is, this tape, when you put the wire around it, it actually holds onto itself. So make sure that all of the materials that you put down and through your bouquet are all bound off as you go. See, I still need a few more into there, so we'll bring that into there, and it's annoying me that. Bring that into there like that. So look at how neat and tidy it is at the back. Look at that. Isn't that just amazing? What you can do just by binding them off like this, and then just take that round there like so. And each time you do it, just make sure that you keep that where you can find it, and as I said, the least amount of wire the better. And we'll bring this into there. So basically, as I said, we're working from the base up, And when you get to the top, your bouquet is almost finished. Look at that. Okay, so I'll leave those for the end. Now, with these, it is just a matter of going into the middle. And because we use nice fine wire, you'll find that these, they get a bit of a swing on, which is great because it gives you that natural air. But look at this, see how easy that is? And everything's all coming through my hand, and everything is all nice and straight because we want to have the least amount of weight as we can, both visually and actually. Look, these just all just fit into here. Just like so. Bring that down like that. And usually I have a mirror that I work to, but unfortunately I don't have a mirror in front of me, but I've got your eyes to make sure that I don't make any mistakes. And it's just finding your, look, that just like bringing those all around like so. And you could add into here, you could use roses if you wanted to, but this is exactly how a bouquet used to be made all those years ago. Isn't it easy? And I tell you what, when you get this finished and you put this into your hand, this is like holding a glass of champagne all night. How quick and easy was that? Look at that. Now, if you wanted to, you can extend it from here, because when I see her bouquet, it's just a little bit more extended out, so we can just take those out like that. And with this one here, we'll just bring, is this easy or is this easy? Isn't this just the most, I just love making bouquets like this. And even though the handhelds are really lovely, I think that just producing a bouquet like this is very, very nice. Now look at that, there it is, done. And then where did I put, oh, don't tell me. Oh dear, I've lost my wee bit, but that's all right. We'll just start off with another bit, and we're going to have to go hunting because we don't want to stab anybody's eye out. So just pull that around tight, as tight as you can up into the crown there of the flowers. I'll just do that another bit more, and then bring all of those down. Now, when it comes to the length of your stem, I like to just leave about an inch or an inch and a half beneath. Right. Let me just cut that off there. An inch and a half beneath. If you find that too long, you can adjust it, but that just means that it's nice and balanced in your hand. The next thing to do is to get your tape. How easy is this? I love it. Get your tape and then bind that handle. And as you're doing it, just pull it as you're going, and then just cover all of those wires off. And years ago, they didn't, as I said, they didn't have that coating like they have now. And what would happen is that when the stems, the wire got wet, it went rusty. So if there was one thing one did not want as a young designer, it was for the bride one to be poked in the finger with a little bit of wire. What the other thing is that once you start this, you can't let it down. Cut that and then go down, and then just repeat that process and go all the way up, making sure that all of your wires are contained in like so, and just gently pull that as you go. I'd like to have put some more of the Lily of the Valley into there, but unfortunately it's too late now. Okay, now the next thing to do is they always used to have chilled, and it's just two long pieces, a big long piece of chilled like so, couple of meters, and then it's getting a fine wire, and all you do is this until just self gather that in. You don't have to be too neat, but just bring that along through like that until you have this. And then, this is where you need two hands, but I think I can do it. This just goes around the back like this. And I really do like two pairs of hands for this, but there is nobody else to help me, so I'm going to have to do it myself. So just get that into there, and you just give that a wee twist around like so. Could put it in my teeth and do it, but no, I'm not going to do that. So once you get to there, just push that into there like so. That's still not very tight, but that's all right. I can deal with that in due course. So push that right up into there, and then all you need to do to bind that is to get another piece of tulle like so. Take that up into there, and then just twist that around back on itself to cover up so that you don't see any of that green. This is very rough. I hope you're realizing I'm being very rough. And then, hold on, now I have to use my teeth. Watch this. Oh, hold on, right. And there you have a bouquet. Isn't that just so sweet, and how fast was that? I hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed bringing you this, the first in our series of the Great Botanical Adventure, investigating the Cymbidium orchid. I'll see you again soon with a new story. Bye for now.